Welcome to my video. Now I graduated law school and I took two bar exams, California and Michigan. Passed both on the first try. I'm not bragging here, I'm just recounting past events. Not bragging, promise. That's kind of stupid actually to take two bar exams and go through that kind of stuff. It's basically hell. Don't ever do it. Anyways, I finished law school, I took the bar exam, and do I regret it? Yes. In this video, I'm going to go over why I regret it. You're going to learn something from it, especially if you're considering law school. And then, who should go to law school? Let's go. So just to enter law school, you need to get your bachelor's first, right? Fun stuff. Then you got to pass the LSAT. You got to get a good score on the LSAT. If it's under 140, you're screwed basically. But you got to practice LSAT for a couple of months, and you got that game section. Even if you're good at reading comprehension and logical reasoning is straight, you got to practice those game section. So you got to take a couple of months to practice LSAT. And then after that, practicing a couple of months, you got to take the LSAT, wait for your score, and then apply for law school. Go through 4 years of law school, not 3 years of law school. So that's already 4 years almost. And then after that, after you finish law school and get your degree, you gotta study at least 3 months. Most people, I studied 3 months, 8 to 8. I was studying from 8 to 8 for the California bar exam for at least 3 months. I spent 3 months just studying, doing nothing else. And then you take the bar exam, and then you wait for your results. Couple of months of waiting. So that's about 5 years, 4.5 years minimum, just to finish, right? That's a lot of time, right? So basically, it took me about 4.5 years just to become a lawyer. I didn't have a job lined up afterwards. Most people didn't have a job lined up afterwards. And what I wish I had known is what I could do with that time, with that 4.5 year time. With just 1 year, what I wish I had known is I could do some other things and just get the same kind of income. Because for me, after I finished my bachelor's, I was completely lost. Like, what can I do with my life right now? Can I do a bachelor's? I can't do stripping. I can't do any of that good stuff, any fun stuff. Right? So it was like MBA, law, and there was no other option for me. Like my view was too narrow. I'm a dumb guy, man. I'm not that smart. So what I wish I would have done is go to a coding boot camp. Especially back then, it was like super rare for anybody to do coding stuff. So instead of 4 years, 4.5 years, you go to a coding boot camp, and you spend 6 months, maybe a year. If you want to take it slow, take it easy, you spend 1 year studying Java, 1 year studying Swift, getting good at Android development for app development, or getting good at iOS app development. And then after that, you get the same kind of job. What do they pay? Developers? $70,000 to $100,000 the first year, and then you go up from there. What do they pay lawyers right now? Most lawyers are working in document review. Some of them are even working as paralegals. It's pathetic, especially a couple of years ago. I don't know how the market is now, but man, it was a struggle to find a job. Most of the graduates that became lawyers after they passed the bar exam, they go and open up their own firm. That's ridiculous. Like, if you're not into law, unless it's like your calling to be a lawyer, like, I want to be a lawyer, I gotta put criminals in jail or whatever, save some gangsters, be a defendant for some gangsters, you want to save them, whatever your goal is, right? Unless you really want to be a lawyer, you're not gonna want to open your own firm. Opening your own business requires you to get clients, be your own accountant, be your own everything, marketer. You gotta be putting so many hours if you open a business. You already know that if you opened a business before. You basically, it becomes your life. It takes over your life, and there's so much stress. So that path for me was not a good idea. I was thinking about doing immigration law firm, but I thought, there's no way I'm going to spend my whole life doing what I'm not passionate about, when I got other ideas that I want to do. I got one life, I got to pursue those ideas. Anyways, for me, the reason why I went to law school is just because I was lost. I didn't know what to do. So if you want to be a lawyer, yeah, go to that path, be a lawyer. You want to become a lawyer, that's your passion. But if you're doing it for the money, if you're doing it just to get a good job, there are other paths that take a fraction of the time, fraction of the effort. Instead of 4.5 years, you take 1 year, become an app developer. You already got the logical mind. You're already going to have to put in so much work of 4 years. You're going to put so much work those 4 years, and then plus the bar exam. Like literally just studying for the bar exam is enough. It's like the equivalent of like 50% of the work that you have to put in for app development, because I've done it. I know. I've done Java development. I know how to develop for Android. It's like 50% of the work, just the bar exam alone. That's not going through L1, L2, L3, the first 3 years of law school. It's so much work, I'm telling you. So, like I said, if you want to be a lawyer, go for law school. If you don't, I would have told myself, go for other stuff. There's much better stuff to in the market that are more needed right now. There are so many things that suck about law school that if you're just going with the flow, or you're just going for it as like okay, I gotta get a job and I'm gonna go for that. There are so many things that suck about law school. Besides the fact that you gotta take the LSAT, like the first year of law school, there are advantages, but the first year of law school, the reading assignments are ridiculous. You got pages and pages of pages to read, and you're constantly, first year, second year, and third year, that's gone. But the first year, they're constantly picking on students randomly. So one day you're like, you read your cases, you're ready, prepared, and you're like, okay, I hope she calls on me today. I'm ready to answer civil procedure questions. Okay, is she gonna call on me today? And for the whole hour, you're like, okay, she's gonna call on me right now. She's gonna call on me right now. And like, this is every class: contract, constitutional law. You're just like waiting for the professor. Is she gonna call on me? Oh, she's gonna call on me. And then you're prepared that day, and she doesn't call on you. And then the one fucking day you're not prepared, she's like, Evan, can you help us out here? I'm like, oh, ah, ah. So yeah, you got a ton of reading to do the first year. You're gonna be so stressed out. Now the advantage to that is it pushes your brain. It makes you think of new ways, which you kind of get from going to computer science. You're gonna pay attention to, it's gonna make your brain more logical. It pushes your brain a little bit. I don't know how, but I definitely got smarter after I took some of the computer science courses. Anyways, there are so many other disadvantages of going to law school. Like, this rarely happens, but sometimes when you go to a regular college, you're gonna meet a professor that you might hook up with, like you have a crush on, and there's like a 0.01% of you hooking up with that professor. It's rare, but it happens. But in law school, it's not gonna happen. The professors are so professional. They have to be. They're getting paid top dollar. They don't want to lose their job. They're not gonna risk it for a young guy or a girl like you. You're gonna have no chance of banging them. And all that good stuff that you thought you could do as a lawyer, like get clients, and like maybe there's a chance of meeting a divorcee and like doing stuff with them. All that stuff, you can't do it. Professional responsibility of a lawyer, they'll take your license. It's illegal. You can't do anything with your clients. You can't do anything with your secretary. What's the point? And oh my god, your dating life is gonna suffer so much, because the first year, if you're full-time, you got like a couple of classes, more than 3, I think, I don't remember, but you got a ton of classes. You got contracts, torts, constitutional law, civil procedure, and you're spending so much time reading. There's no online classes, right? So you have to go there, spend the time, and then after that you got to read, and then you're under so much stress. Your dating life is gonna go woo, like that. Dude, UPP is gonna hate you for sure. Like, it's very hard to keep a balance of my law school life. For me, this was the case for me. I couldn't, first year I couldn't have any relationships, right? I was just going to the library, studying. And then when it came down to midterms and finals, oh man, everybody was in the library until like 12 a.m. The last thing I want to mention is very important. Like, tiers to law schools, right? There's tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4. And if you're going to a tier 4 school, just don't do it. Tier 4 schools are harder. It's harder for the students to get jobs after they graduate. They just suck. They just take your money and give you a shitty degree. Don't go to a tier 4 school. So this is my problem with law school. Would I have done it again? No, because there are other alternatives. I didn't want to be a lawyer. So if you don't want to be a lawyer, don't do law school, especially if you're going to a tier 4 or a tier 3 school. If you want to just get a good job, there are other alternatives. So think about that. I hope this video was helpful. I don't know if it was helpful. It's probably a waste of time. Anyway, subscribe if you found this helpful, and thank you so much for watching. Peace out.